This is my third and last video of today, which is the 5th, 6th, 2025, whatever. But today's video is going to be but calling out two dudes that I know very personally. My two buddies, my two brothers. We shit in the same toilet seat, we're brothers. But my two buddies that I'll just label them as French dude and Armenian kid. And I'm going to be talking about their whole career, or what they're planning on doing, and how that ties into deeper stuff that I'll be talking about later in the video. Now, these two apes are in the business of music. Oh, shit! But not any music, rock. Now, what type of rock? They don't really know yet, and neither do I. But from what I heard, it's garage rock. You know, making music out of your own garage. You know, that's comparable to like Nirvana, Guns N' Roses. You know, other types of rock that pushes their agenda or their ideology forward. You know, there's a message in the song that they want to say, and you as the listener gotta listen. Now, I don't have any music from them yet because they haven't made any. Well, they've made a few beats, but they don't really have any lyrics. So this video is mostly just going to be talking about the music industry's absolute gooberism and how, well, I can't really help them, but what my theories are for why money can and cannot be made in this industry. Now, they're doing this for money. That is the bulk of what I'm getting from what they're trying to tell me. One is doing it for the money, the other one's doing it for the show. Let's go, everybody, let's go. But this is mostly their big thing. They will be cooked if this does not succeed. Now, I'm not in their band. I'm horrible with music. I'm really bad at making music. I was going to make a rap song last month, but I just kind of said, fuck it. I'm not good with music. So I'm going to let the professionals do their thing, and I'll sit back and watch. But they're in a genre of rock. Now, rock can have money made. As we all know, big rock bands are very, very old. Well, the current ones, the ones that made like lots of money, are very, very old. As we all know, Nirvana is gone. They're like in their 80s. Guns N' Roses, they're 6 feet deep in the ground. And the only one left is Metallica, which is also pretty old. They're no longer in their prime, but in their prime, they made so much money. And that is to do with the time. The time is one thing that is very big when it comes to making music and making money with music. Now, as we all know, it doesn't really matter what genre of music you're in, as long as your idea or what you're pushing, the message that you're pushing in your song, reminisces or really hits with the people. Now, that's what's going to make you the big bucks, because sadly, today's day and age, rock bands or new and upcoming rock bands are kind of brushed off from what I'm noticing. A lot of new rock bands aren't getting a lot of listeners. You know, you never hear them on like a rock radio. It's very rare that you hear like indie rock these days. Well, that's because it's not being pushed. And getting your music pushed is one big hard thing to do. Because let's say your message isn't really reminiscing with your publisher, or let's say it doesn't really reminisce with, like, the people. then your music doesn't really go out there. You don't make a damn dollar off of it. Maybe a couple thousand, but that's just gonna run out once, in 2 years. That's not enough. But having a band out there that be hitting the hits and hitting no shits, now that's difficult. As we all know, reminiscing with the people is just a big thing, and not doing that will have your song, get ignored and forgotten in time. Because if you just make a song about your local fucking gas station that only 7 people go to every day, no one really cares about your music. It don't really matter if the beat is good or not. But now if you're talking about a subject that really reminisces with people, like employment, or I don't know, love, or something else, I don't really know, now that's gonna hit. It's going to hit. Now, I understand that there are just so many topics out there to talk about in this video, because I'm talking about the humongous genre of rock and making money off of it. But I'm just trying to keep this very short and simple, because I'm just trying to send a message to 2 fucking dudes. I'm trying to tell them that if you do not lock in, it's one of you is going to be serving fries at the local fucking McDonald's, while the other one, he's fine. He's got a lot of other things for him. But for other bands out there, for other indie bands out there, they do make it. I don't know a single one that has made it, but what I'm really talking about in this video is making it big. Now, making it big is tough, but one of the new ways to make it big that is not that tough, but actually kind of it is, but it's just pretty, humiliating in a sort of way. Now, that is TikTok music, or meme music, or influencer music, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't really care. Now, this is just a new way to push your music out there and just make a quick, big, fat buck. We're talking fat buck. Now, how big of a buck? We're talking a couple million. Now, that's big. But your music will be criticized. Your message will be thrown out the window by a lot of people, but the beat goes hard and your lyrics are goofy as shit, so you deserve it. Now, I understand this is not what a lot of bands want, but it's just one of the few ways you can really be out there and be heard by multiple people. Now, how do I know this works? Dave Blunts. Dave Blunts is a new guy on the block that made music, as you all know. He's the purple guy. He's literally the guy talking about the purple stuff. And how does his music hit? Because it has the goofiest lyrics that you can hear in any rap song out there. It is goofy, it's silly, and he is just a random fucking dude off the street that made music, and that shit be hitting. Now, there's other music out there that is also comparable to meme music, which is what I just said, TikTok music. Now, how do I know this works? Kendrick Lamar, fucking Drake. The only reason you listen to them is because you heard their song on a meme one time and you're like, oh, that sound... Well, not Drake, really, or nor Kendrick, because they've been around before the iPhone was ever made. But what's one that's... Ice Spice. There we go. That's one. Ice Spice. You've heard her music, on TikTok before. And what's that new lady that literally stole the hardest songs beat? Fuck, I forgot her name. But let me look it up. Give me a minute. Shit. What is her name? Okay, so this is a song that you probably heard a lot on Instagram or on TikTok or whatever platform you're on. I don't care. But it is by a girl named Doechii, and it's called Anxiety. I think it's this one. Give me a minute. It is exactly this one. Now, she stole the beat. She literally stole the beat from one of the hardest songs of our time and claimed it as her own. Well, not really claimed it as her own, but made money off of it and just put her own shit-ass beat on, or shit-ass lyrics in this song. Now, of course, she made a fat, quick buck off this, but she got a lot of criticism from this. Criticism from me. You fucking stole this beat. This beat is not original at all. This was taken from, another song that it's old, but I can't remember the name of it, but I can remember every single bit of it. You didn't have to cut me off. Keep it happening. We were nothing. I don't really know what he says during that part, but that song, that shit hits. It is one of the songs from the early 2000s, party, love, sex, balls, penis, during those times, your parents' times where partying was a big thing here in the United States. Now, she, of course, like I just said, she made a quick buck off this, but this is a way to make your music popular, make it controversial, make it stick out, send a message out there that reminisces with people. In her song, she talks about anxiety. Anxiety is one big thing that is ravaging through our generation as, what the fuck are we? Gen Z? I don't really care. Or Gen Alpha, Gen Balls. I don't really care. The lazy generation. I'm part of it. Whatever the older people call us. But in our generation, anxiety is a huge thing. And anxiety is a huge thing, and anxiety actually hit me. I was unfortunately hit with the version of anxiety that gives you random pains throughout your fucking body. It doesn't make me worried, but it just hurts. But there's nothing there, And I was unfortunately hit with that version of anxiety. But anxiety exists beyond me. It exists everywhere. You might have anxiety. You went to your local job, or maybe you got fired and you don't have any money to maintain yourself in your local fucking apartment. Now you gotta be eating on cup noodles, and you're stressed and you're anxious, and now you're cooped up in the couch, and now you got anxiety, and now you can't even go out to ask for another job because you feel like shit. That hits people, and that's in her message. Anxiety keeping me quietly, trying to silence me, that is part of her song. As shit as the beat is, not the beat, as stolen as the beat is, the lyrics make sense. The lyrics are trying to send a message. Now, rolling back to the rock part of this, a lot of rock bands, listening to rock is very difficult. I'm not big on rock because I can't hear a single fucking lyric they're trying to say, but the beat goes hard. Fucking, Master of Puppets, I don't know a single lyric of that song, but besides him saying Master of Puppets are pulling your strings, that sends a message, but the beat goes fucking hard, that reminisced with me a bit, and that's why I like Metallica. Now, Nirvana, I don't like a single one. Actually, no, I don't like a single one of their songs because the beat does not go hard in a single one of their songs. Well, that's to me, but that's different with everyone else. Maybe you don't like the beat, but you love the message that's sent in the song. That's just what I'm trying to say in this video. It's hard to give out a song that sends both a hard beat and a good message. One of the few people that even managed to do that was MF Doom. And sadly, he's no longer with us now. But his rap was very, very, different for the time. His music was different. you know, he talked about, you know, fucking his story, his life, well, not really his story, but just experiences in his life, you know, comparing that to, like, let's say Tupac, who usually sings about, you know, his life story, but he also talks about other things like killing people, which I guess for some of us doesn't make any sense. Why would he do that? He killed someone. But for me, it totally makes sense. You know, to be big, you gotta, you know, crush some roaches. I'm just saying. But, you know, let me go back to that thing I just said. To live clean, you gotta crush some roaches and kill some rats. Is basically what Tupac did back in the day. And some people in today's world still do. You know, that's why a lot of rap music, you know, to our parents sounds like drugs, killing, sex. Yes, that is in the lyrics of some of our favorite pop songs or some of our favorite rap songs. But like I just said, to live clean, you gotta crush some roaches and kill some rats. Now, you know, I'm not saying that in rock you gotta do that. Like, what the fuck, you're trying to kill the ops? Fucking John Lennon? What is John Lennon, your local op? No, in rock you're trying to send a different message. Now, the messages sent in rock are very different from pop or rap. Now, rock sometimes has stories where they talk about death. And I remember this one dude, I cannot remember his name, but he talked about how he had a heart attack on a balcony, I think, or outside of his porch in the snow, and he died. Now, that actually happened. He predicted his own fucking death. Now, I'm not saying that rock music predicts your death, but those lyrics went hard and the beat goes hard too. And that's why it reminisced with people. That's why that person made a couple bucks off that song. Now, I'm going to leave my friends on this. Make good music, not a lot of music. See, so, yeah. That's pretty much the whole message of this fucking video. And also, go out and read The Max. It's a good book. And that's pretty much it. See ya. You thought that I was going to finish this video. You probably stayed behind. Well, if you're not the French dude and the Armenian dude, you can go. You can go. This is just a message to them. To my Armenian friend, I got a couple things for you when you come back. Got a couple things waiting for you, buddy. And for my French friend, I really have nothing to say. I don't know. I have a better sub collection than you. That's pretty much it. See ya.